Hey, hello, my name is Anita, long time no see. It's been a little while since I've done one of these little videos, hasn't it? Excuse this thing under my nose, it's a cold sore. My sinuses have been playing up a little bit, and side effect of that is dribbly nose or runny nose. Bit TMI, I apologize, but my sinuses play up a little bit. I use a lot of tissues. And this is the result of using too many tissues. So either that or you could say I've been kissing too many toads. It's up to you. Today's video is a bit of a later one. I wanted this to be done a little bit beforehand. Like I wanted this video filmed on Friday, released on Sunday, but I didn't get a chance to do that because life gets in the way of things. And I was hoping that I could do this video without taking notes and I could just go off script per se. But I realized that I actually do need some notes. I do need to jot down some thoughts and feelings about what I'm going to be talking to you about today so I know what to talk about. And so that I can better get my thoughts across. Better late than never. And that's the reason why this video I'm doing now is late. And the video I'm talking about is about World Poetry Day. So World Poetry Day was on the 21st of March, I believe that is a Sunday, like I said before. And I just wanted to do this video to talk about poetry, if I have any poetry, what I like about poetry. Just talk about poetry in this video. Okay, so let's talk about the poetry books that I have in my arsenal, or my bookshelves I should say. First one is Pillow Thoughts by Courtney Pepperell. I just recently finished reading this one. Pillow Thoughts is a collection of poetry and prose about heartbreak, love and raw emotions. It is divided into sections to read when you feel you need them most. Make a cup of tea and let yourself feel. That's the first one. Second one is Milk and Honey by Ruby Carr. I believe that's how you say her last name. I apologize if I'm getting it wrong. This is quite a popular one. It says at the back here, look, I don't exactly properly know how to explain poetry and what it's about, so I just go at the back of it to tell you about it. This is the journey of surviving through poetry. This is the blood, sweat, tears of 21 years. This is my heart in your hands. This is the hurting, the loving, the breaking, the healing. And I read this one a few years ago and I thoroughly enjoyed it. The third one, oopsies, is The Sun and Her Flowers by Ruby Carr again. This is the recipe of life, said my mother as she held me in her arms as I wept. Think of those flowers you plant in the garden each year. They will teach you that people too must wilt, fall, root, rise in order to bloom. And I liked this one, but I didn't like it as much as Milk and Honey or her recently released poetry collection. The second one does deal a lot with refugees and immigrants and foreigners moving to new lands and trying to live through prejudice and injustice and stuff like that. Third one of Ruby Carr's, but the fourth poetry book I have is Homebody. After feeling disconnected for so long, my mind and body are finally coming back to each other. I think she wrote this in the time when she was in quarantine because of COVID. And she said that her depression really hit hard for her in quarantine time. And she wrote this book as a sort of coping mechanism. Book number 5 is I Would Leave Me If I Could by Halsey. Halsey is one of my favorite singers or artists, however you want to say it. I think this one is about being a woman in America. What I really liked about this is that she has little snippets of her songs from her albums in here. Like there were some, like I don't have it marked where it is, but she does have some lines from her songs that she puts into this poetry collection. And here I am, whenever I found her, singing it. And I had to stop myself from singing because, you know, I have to read, not sing. So I really like that little element into it. And I think it also has prose as well. The sixth one is also a poetry collection from another one of my favorite artists, singers, and that is Violet Bent Backwards Over the Grass by Lana Del Rey. She has a new album out. It came out recently, Chemtrails Over the Country Club. I have to listen to that. It's the highly anticipated debut book of poetry from Lana Del Rey. Violet Bent Backwards Over the Grass is the title poem of the book and the first poem I wrote of many, some of which came to me in their entirety, which I dictated and then typed out, and some that I worked laboriously picking apart each word to make the perfect poem. They are eclectic and honest and not trying to be anything other than what they are, and for that reason I'm proud of them, especially because the spirit in which they were written was very authentic. So Lana's heartbreaking first book solidifies her further as the essential writer of her times, and The Atlantic said that. This beautiful hardcover edition showcases Lana's typewritten manuscript pages alongside her original photography. The result is an extraordinary poetic landscape that reflects the unguarded spirit of its creator. And that is so true. There is such beautiful photography in this. And it's very much storytelling. You get beautiful imagery, you get imagery that goes with the images and the photography, and it's stunning. I love it. I took my time with this one because I wanted to immerse myself as much as possible into it. Now, we are getting to the last three. Tell you about them and then I'll explain some things about how I'm feeling about these collections. Anyway, the first one is The Princess Saves Herself in This One by Amanda Lovelace. The second one is The Witch Doesn't Burn in This One by Amanda Lovelace. And the third one is The Mermaid's Voice Returns in This One, also by Amanda Lovelace. Now, there's nothing wrong with this poet or author. You do call, like, people with poetry books poets, right? Or do you call them writers? Anyway, I really enjoyed these books when they, how do I do this? Okay. I really enjoyed these books when they came out, but the more I've distanced myself from them, the more it feels like that they're kind of repetitive in some places. I don't know, maybe I think I should at least give these a reread before I decide what to do about these any further. So that's what I'm going to try and do. It's just, I've read so many good poetry collections. Like my favorites, my absolute favorites are, well, it's actually Homebody. This is probably my favorite collection. Having some favorites, I just don't know if, yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say. All I know is that I probably should give these a reread before I decide on whether to unhaul them or not. I hope this fits into the shot. Okay, this is all the poetry collection I have. I do have more that I want to get. I want to get more from Courtney Pepper now. And then there's another poet or author called Lang Leave. I'm probably pronouncing her name wrong. I have, a bit of an interest in her poetry collection as well. So there's definitely more poets or writers that I do want to read more from. Let's get into why I love poetry. So for me, this is the way I think of it. Poetry almost feels autobiographical in nature. Instead of getting like a 300, 400 plus page memoir or autobiography of a person, you just get little bite-sized little pieces of someone's life. And some poems just really hit you. They really speak to you. And I feel that poems and the people behind the poems can be inspiring, and they can teach you about lessons about love and life and trauma and other things and other experiences that people experience in their day-to-day life. And knowing that they've gone through absolute hell and absolute rubbish and crap and still managed to get through to the other side is inspiring. Not that I've been through some hard, well, for me they have, but for other people they think, oh no, that's not bad. Look at this person, they've been through worse. But not that you should measure people's pain and experience to your own, because everyone's pain and experience, whether it be bad or good, is valid. Even though I haven't gone through what some of these poets have, it's still kind of inspiring that you may have a bad day, or you may feel like you're going nowhere and you're just stuck somewhere and you can't move. And it's just inspiring to know that you can get through it, that life will turn around no matter how bad it gets for you. Like, I swear I'm fine. I'm fine, I'm good. Trust me. And another thing as well that kind of balances or goes hand in hand with what I said before about human experiences and stuff. Sometimes you may struggle to find words and to express your emotions. Poetry can do that for you. And sometimes when someone writes something down, it's just like, oh my god, this person understands me. And when you read a poem, and when it really hits you, you think, oh my god, is this person me? This person understands me, my feelings. And it's just incredible that way, that poetry can help you express your feelings in written form. Like, someone else's words can make you feel seen, is what I'm trying to get across. And another thing as well, especially with even Rupi Kaur's books, and even Courtney Pepinelli's, they have like little segments that you can just read whenever you feel like it. Like if you're feeling sad or lonely or angry or depressed or anything like that, you can just go to that section and read it and feel better. Because I know I did that with Pillow Thoughts when I was having a bit of a rough time in the beginnings, like the beginning months of this year, and it helped a bit. And thank you for watching this video. This is actually a nice short little video, which is what I wanted. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like down below. If you want to subscribe to see more content from me, please do so. Don't feel like you have to, but if you would like to, that would help me out a lot. And if you have any of your favorite poets or poetry book collection, let me know down below in the description. Leave a comment. If you have read any of these books that I have read, let me know what you thought of them and if you like them as well. And I also have down below in my description box links to my social media if you would like to follow me on any of those. That's all for this video, guys. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! The second one, oh for goodness sake, damn tripod, okay. Like, they can teach you about lessons and life lessons. They can teach you about lessons and... Okay, stop opening books because I will just be reading instead of talking.